Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Lesson number 8, part 1. And in this lesson, as we know, we are just going to focus on the past tense, which we have already completed. We have completed the past tense form of the verb, and inshallah now in this lesson, this is basically a review of the verb that we have learned so far. And as we know that we have learned the whole conjugation of the past tense, and the past tense always starts in Arabic, it always starts with the third person, and the third person al-ghaib. Al-ghaib means someone who is not personally there or who is not involved into any kind of conversation. Dhahaba, he went. Dhahaba, they both went. Dhahabu, they all went. And now we can see over here that in Arabic we say dhahaba, but in English we say he went. So that means every verb in Arabic language has a hidden dhamir inside it, has a hidden pronoun inside it. As we can see over here, he, and here we have they both, and here we have they all. And this is for the masculine mudhakkar. For the feminine, dhahabat, she went. And as we can see here in dhahabat, we have she, that's a hidden dhamir, and then we have dhahabata, they both went, and dhahabna, they all went. One thing we need to know that our sheikh has not taught us the dual form of the verbs, but we have already learned the dual form, and it's necessary for us to carry on with the dual form so that we can complete all the 14 forms of the verb. As we know that the verb consists of, each verb consists of 14 forms, 14 for that we have for the past and 14 for the present. We haven't started present tense yet. In the past, as we can see over here, we have 6 for the third person, and we know that number 1 and number 4 are very important. And we have learned that whenever we have the doer, and the doer is apparent, it's outside. So it, for the masculine, the verbal sentence always starts with the third person singular. For example, we say dhahaba bilalun. And if we talk about the feminine, then we will say dhahabat fatimatu. Whether there are 2 persons or 3 persons or more than 3, if the doer is apparent, we know the doer, if it's a person. So we can see over here that after that we will say dhahaba bilalun or dhahaba bilalun wa hamidun, dhahaba bilalun wa hamidun wa ahmadu. Whether we have 3 or more than 3, the verbal sentence will always start with dhahaba for the masculine and dhahabat for the feminine. Then we talked about the second person, al-mukhatab, and in the second person we have dhahabat, in fact dhahabta. And you might have noticed over here that we have track 1 and track 2. So up to number from 1 to 5 we have track 1, and you can see that we have the third letter is as we can see here is mutaharrik. Ba is mutaharrik, here ba is mutaharrik, here also ba is mutaharrik, yani it has dhamma or fatha on it. In dhahabat and dhahabata, we can see that the third letter is mutaharrik. But when we go to form number 6, we can see here that the third letter becomes sakin. That's very, very important. As we can see over here, dhahabna. So here, the third letter becomes sakin, and the third letter will be sakin up to the 14th form of the verb, as we can see over here. So that's why we say that here track 2 starts from here. So we have 2 tracks of the train. The track 1 is dhahaba, dhahaba, dhahabu, dhahabat, dhahabata. And then we have track 2 that starts from dhahabna, dhahabta, dhahabtuma, dhahabtum, dhahabti, dhahabtuma, dhahabtunna, dhahabtu, and dhahabna. And all of them, as we can see, all of them have the hidden pronoun inside it. And that's the beauty of the Arabic verbs, as we can see over here. This is what we have learned already. Let's see what the Sheikh rahimahullah is going to teach us over here now. Lesson number 8. So al-ghaib, the third person, al-mudhakkaru wal-mu'annathu. For mudhakkaru we have hamidun dhahaba. So this one, remember, is a nominal sentence, it's jumla ismiya, not jumla fi'liya, because it starts with the ism. حامد ذهب حامد وهاشم وعلي ذهبوا. So as we can see here, if the doer is one, we have ذهب, and if the doer is more than one, we have two or three or four, then it will be ذهبوا. Remember that the verb has to follow the noun. The verb has to follow the noun. If we have one noun, we use the verb for singular. If we have two nouns, we have to use the verb for the dual. For example, Hamidun wa Zaidun dhahaba. And if we have three or more than three nouns, as we can see over here, then the verb has to follow the plural form. We can see here, Hamidun wa Hashimun wa Aliyun dhahabu. And the reason is, this is a nominal sentence, Jumla Ismiya. And we know Jumla Ismiya is equal, the mubtada and khabar are equal in number and gender. So Hamid is one mubtada and dhahaba is khabar. Fail can also become khabar. And similarly, Hamidun wa Hashimun wa Aliyun, we have mubtada, and mubtada is plural here, so the khabar is also plural. I hope it's clear now. Al-mu'annathu, the same thing over here. Aminatu dhahabat. Amina is mubtada and dhahabat khabar. And when we have Aminatu wa Zainabu wa Maryamu, we will see dhahabna. Amina, Zainab, and Maryam went. Now here we don't see the dual because the Sheikh has not taught us dual as of now, but we have seen already that when we have Hamidun wa Bilalun, we will say dhahaba, and if we have Aminatu wa Zainabu, we will say dhahabata. Then we talked about the second person, al-mukhatabu, al-mudhakkaru, al-mu'annathu. Al-mudhakkar, anta dhahabta, antum dhahabtum. Even now, if you don't say anta, dhahabta has already inbuilt a dhamir in it. But when you say anta dhahabta, it becomes a nominal sentence and it's more emphatic. So anta mubtada, dhahabta khabar. Antum dhahabtum, antum mubtada, dhahabtum khabar. Antuma dhahabtuma, that will be for the dual. And for the mu'annath, anti dhahabti, anti mubtada, dhahabti khabar, and antunna dhahabtunna, antunna mubtada, and dhahabtunna khabar. And if you want to say the dual, it will be antuma dhahabtuma. For both of them, you both went. When we talk about the first person, al-mutakallim, the speaker, so al-mudhakkar, al-muannath are the same. Ana dhahabtu wa nahnu dhahabna. So ana mubtada and dhahabtu khabar, and similarly nahnu mubtada and dhahabna khabar. أكمل الجمل الآتية. Now you have to complete the following sentences بوضع الفعل ذهب, by putting the verb ذهب. في الفراغ, in the blanks, بعد إسناده, after conjugating it, إلى الضمير المناسب, to the suitable ضمير, يعني pronoun. So now we have to fill in the blanks with the conjugation of ذهب in the past tense, making sure that we use the proper conjugation. أين الطلاب الجدد? Where are the new students? So we know الطلاب is plural, so we will say ذهبوا إلى المدير, because we are talking about the students, so we have to say ذهبوا إلى المدير, they went to the headmaster. نحن ذهبنا إلى الملعب. نحن ذهبنا, we went. After that we have بعد الدرس يا إخواني, oh brothers. So when we are talking to the brothers, the second person plural masculine, so we will say أين ذهبتم بعد الدرس يا إخواني, oh my brothers, where did you go after the lesson? Talking to the father, يا أبي, so we will say أين ذهبت إلى السوق اليوم يا أبي. When ذهبت إلى السوق اليوم يا أبي, oh father, did you go to the market today? أنا ما إلى المكتبة اليوم, so you will say أنا ما ذهبت, I didn't go. أنا, and you know with أنا we will say ذهبت. أمي إلى المستشفى, so we know that أمي is feminine, and for the feminine we will say ذهبت. أمي ذهبت إلى المستشفى. لزيارة خالتكن, and همزة as we know استفهام, يا بناتي, oh my daughters, so we will say أذهبتن لزيارة خالتكن يا بناتي, oh my daughters or oh my girls, did you go to visit your aunt? أخي إلى المطار. So we will say ذهب أخي إلى المطار. My brother went to the airport. ذهب أخي. Then we have أخواتي, my sisters. So أخواتي ذهبنا إلى الكلية. My sisters went to the college. And then we have the last one, إلى المدرسة يا عائشة, talking to Aisha. So we will say أذهبت إلى المدرسة يا عائشة. O Aisha, did you go to the school? أكمل الجمل الآتية. You have to follow the complete. You have to complete the following sentences. أكمل is فعل الأمر and it is sakin. And when we connect sakin with al, we have to put kasra. So as we can see here, أكمل. And whenever we have فعل الأمر, after فعل الأمر, the noun will be mansoob. يعني it will take fatha. أكمل الجمل الآتية بوضع فعل ماض مناسب. By putting the suitable past tense في كل من الأماكن الخالية in each of the following blanks. So we have to basically fill in the blanks with by putting the suitable past tense, as we can see over here. الأذان يا محمد. So سمعت الأذان يا محمد. Oh Muhammad, did you hear the أذان? نحن كرة السلة اليوم. نحن لعبنا. We played. نحن لعبنا كرة السلة اليوم. We played basically the basketball today. قمصاني ومناديلي يا أمي. So أغسلتي قمصاني ومناديلي يا أمي. Oh my mother, did you clean my shirts and my handkerchiefs? المدرس الدرس على السبورة. So we will say كتب المدرس الدرس على السبورة. The teacher wrote the lesson on the board. كتب, wrote. المدرس is the doer and الدرس is the مفعول object. So we know that the doer is always مرفوع and the object is always mansub. أنا فتحت باب الفصل. I opened the door of the classroom. وحامد وهشام وبلال فتحوا النوافذ. Hamid, Hisham and Bilal opened the windows. And now why we have to use fatahu? Because we are talking about Hamid, Hisham and Bilal. And the last one is الدرس الجديد جيدا يا بنات. So we will say أفهمتن الدرس الجديد جيدا يا بنات. Oh girls, did you understand the lesson properly? So we can see over here that the verb will be always important in Arabic language, and we need to know that Arabic language is very, very rich when it comes to the verbs. And if you talk about book 2, believe me or not, book 2 is the most important book, not only of this course, but very important for learning Arabic language as a whole, learning the Quran as a whole. So we have to make some extra effort with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to learn this book. زميلاتي من الفصل بعد الدرس. My colleagues went, or we have to say, we are saying went out of the classroom after the lesson. So we will say زميلاتي خرجنا. So زميلة مؤنث. So زميلاتي, my classmates. القرآن بعد صلاة الفجر يا أبنائي. Oh my sons. Ibnun, the plural of Ibnun is Abna'un, and we have Ya al Mutakallim, so it becomes Al Abna'i. In fact, Abna'i. Aqra'tum, Aqra'tum, and you know that when Meme is Sakin, and when we connect Meme Sakin with Al, it will be with Dhamma, so it will be Aqra'tumul Qur'ana. And بعد صلاة الفجر يا أبنائي. Oh my sons, did you recite the Quran after Fajr prayer? أخي حفظ سورة الرحمن. My brother memorized Surah Rahman. أخي fail plus أخي is sorry, in fact the fa'il, the doer. حفظ is the verb and Surah Ar-Rahman is mansub, it is the object. أنا بحثت, right? أنا بحثت عن قلمي ولكنني ما وجدته. I looked for my pen but I did not find it. من هذه الحية. من قتل هذه الحية. Who killed this snake? Then we have القهوة يا مريم. So أشربتي القهوة, and when we connect it we will say أشربتي القهوة يا مريم. Oh Maryam, did you drink coffee? زملائي الموزة وأنا العنبة. So you say زملائي أكلوا الموز وأنا أكلت العنب. My friends ate banana and I ate the grapes. And now we can see here زميل, and the plural of زميل is زملاء, and we have ya al mutakallim, so zumala'i, my colleagues, plural, so that's why the verb has to be plural. As I mentioned earlier, if the doer or if the mubtada is plural, then the verb must be plural. And the last one is Fatimatu bintaha bil asa. So darabat Fatimatu bintaha bil asa. Fatima hit her daughter with the stick. So Alhamdulillah, we have completed like almost half of the part of the lesson, and in fact the exercises, because the lesson is basically a review of the past tense that we have learned so far. So Alhamdulillah, half of the exercises are finished, and the rest of the exercises we will complete in the next lesson. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.